Hey, welcome back, sports betting fans. It's Ray back here with you. Yeah, I got a little important information here I want to share with you about parlays. Some important facts in betting on sports, period. I mean, when you have a nice bankroll, and I consider this, say about 2,000. That's a nice bankroll. But still, you want to manage your money. I mean, especially if you're gonna, try parlays. If you like parlays like I do, I'm telling you, that's why parlays. That is what I've done when I was experimenting with these percentages. About 4 years ago, I didn't care about percentages, and I started looking at the games, and I started parlaying, and I was laying too much on parlays, and believe me, a bankroll can shrink fast. it shrinks so fast it will put you on the bench. You will go through that 2,000. So when you're learning something just like this, I mean, you don't know a lot about it, but you see some things there that are true, and you don't want to go and stick $100 on a parlay here and there. Just test it out. Put $2, $5, $10 on a parlay. If when you get used to it, you see what's going on. You might want to step it up. You may want to put 100 on two teams, but you want to win some of that money from Vegas first. And you can do it. You can see where you go wrong. It's a lot of things you're going to learn. Keep coming here. And believe me, because parlays, when you use them like that, I can show you. I'm going to show you shortly my little library. When I was studying these percentages, I got to the point to where I'd put $2 here, $3, $5, and I stepped it up. You build a little army of parlays. I tell you, they can do some damage. They can do some damage. It's like insurance. If you go shopping for insurance, you trying to get the cheapest price and some of the best insurance. Okay, these parlays will insure plays you make. I've made parlays for $100, $200, but I take a small one. I'm going to show you in a minute. I take a small one and build about 6, 7 of them. And it's a way to do it. It's not hard. It's not hard. You just got to know the concept of it. Build these little parlays, and if one of those little parlays hit, it'll get that money back for me. And at the same time, that large one can win, and the small, you can win if you got 6, 7 parlays going, that large one can win, and at the same time, some of those small ones can win also. And that's the way you build those parlays. But I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you what about a 3-team parlay when you come to the site. But you got to be careful when you're dealing with that, because I tell you, a bankroll like that, it won't last long if you bet the wrong way. You got to manage your money. And let's say you got a bankroll of about 500 or less. This is definitely the way to build, to build on it. I mean, even with that bankroll of 2,000, like I said, Vegas will chew you up and spit you out. They will. They'll spit you clean over into the accounts receivables. And that's a section you don't want to be in. Or as I always say, I call it the regular donor section. But I have, experimented. When you're doing this, like the betting percentages, when I caught on to them and I started watching those percentages and looking at the games and the final scores, it's been a couple of years ago. And, I caught on to some things. And I cut it down. That's how I started betting small amounts of money. Just testing. If I lose, I didn't lose much. And these things started hitting. And I got smarter at these percentages. And I'm giving you a look at it right now. Some of these, and this is from Sportsbook AG, and I don't deal with them anymore because I've been away from there for about 8 months. When they went to that system where a bank wire take you 6 to 8 weeks, when they say that, like I say, they mean 8 weeks. They can take the 6 off. They mean 8 weeks for a bank wire. And on a normal basis, it used to, I'd send out for a bank wire, and it would be there 3 to 5 business days. And, I just quit dealing with it. I'm glad I did, because they don't offer a lot of things like the sportsbook I deal with now, and I'll show you all of that. But right now, let me show you some of these parlays. Now they don't have that demo link on that AG site anymore. So, at some time in the future, I'll log in and show you these parlays from back 2010, 11, when I was experimenting with these percentages. Okay, I'm going to show you just a couple of them because I don't like, but like I say, these are the real deal. And I don't want to prove anything to you by showing you a parlay, new home, new vehicles, all that stuff. You don't want to see that. But I just want to show you, I haven't just started doing this. I've been doing this for quite some time. Let's take a look at a couple of these. See that? Now this parlay, like I said, insurance, it backed up one of my larger parlays, and it paid me back my money plus some. I've had days where I hit 4 or 5 of them in a row, 6 at one time, and you're not risking much. Like I say, I was tested. These things, they will come through. If you put them together correctly, they will come through. There's a $10 parlay I played here, 362.55 is payback. I've got plenty of them in here, like I said. And, it's a good way to go, especially if you're on a small budget. If $4 is going to bring you back $161, you do that several times over. Or if $10 will bring you $4 will bring you 5, 6, 7, 800. You just got to know how to put them together. And, you make them to where one can win and the other one can win also. But, it's kind of hard to explain. I'd have to put it together on a video. But, I also kept my losses because you get plenty of losses when you deal with these parlays. That's why you want to cut down on the amount of money you spend, especially when you're just